Another day, another bizarre misstep from far-left New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. Hey guys, welcome back to Brad vs. Everyone, your home for independent and nonpartisan commentary and analysis on politics, media, internet insanity, and more. We got to check back in with our far-left friend, the mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani, who is simultaneously a very charismatic and likable guy and clearly very skilled at retail politics, very adept as well in some ways, but then seems to be a bit of a bumbling oaf in others. Perhaps, it's just his underlying ideological commitments seeping through in ways that backfire, but he's done a few things now, like when he did that stunt video outside of the home of a wealthy executive who invests in New York City and like basically kind of highlighted his home at this time right after a healthcare CEO had just been killed and got a lot of pushback for that, understandably so. Other things and this will become relevant, when he went to watch the World Cup with inmates at Rikers, including some hardened criminals. It's just some bizarre decisions. And that's kind of how I feel about this latest statement he's made that's really sparking a bit of a firestorm in conservative media. So here's the cover from the New York Post. Mamdani posts emotional message mourning accused knife-wielding killer and is slammed by victim's family. Sympathy for the devil. You got to shout out the New York Post. They have a way with words and they know how to design a cover that will stick out in your mind. But it all comes basically down to the fact that an inmate died at Rikers Island, and we don't know why or what the circumstances was. But Zohran put out this statement like mourning him that when you look into the details of what the guy did, it just comes off very strangely. Let's go through it. So here's from the Post story. Mayor Zohran Mamdani publicly mourned an accused career criminal killer who died on Rikers Island this week, and the family of the victim slain in the sick, unprovoked attack is now livid, the Post has learned. Now, here we've got Zohran's actual post that went viral. I am deeply saddened by the death of a New Yorker in city custody at a jail on Rikers Island early this morning. My thoughts are with his family and loved ones as they grieve this loss. We do not yet know the cause of death, but we do know that too many New Yorkers have died on Rikers Island. The Department of Correction and its oversight partners will investigate the circumstances surrounding his death. Our administration is fully committed to the critical work of creating better conditions in our city's jail system and closing Rikers Island as quickly as possible. So we'll get into the details of this guy's crimes and the family speaking out about all this as well. But first, it's just like, none of this is helping you beat the soft on crime allegations, right? Remember, Zohran spent most of his career as a progressive radical who wanted to abolish and defund the police and prisons because of queer liberation and other like bizarre, nonsensical, ideological brain rot statements he made over the years. And now he's out here like mourning as if it's Dolly Parton passing away, this hardened criminal and alleged murderer who died in Rikers. And obviously, they're human beings, people who are in prison, and you don't want them mistreated or killed, but there's no evidence that that's the case. Like, this guy was just found non-responsive in his cell, and anytime you're detaining thousands upon thousands of people will have health issues or complications or pass away. And so you can say that we're like committed to the safety of prisoners and Rikers and we'll be investigating it, but to like pour your heart out for this horrific criminal and say how deeply sad you are by his loss and your heart goes out to his family just comes off as very tone deaf and weird to me. Like, I'm not happy he's dead. I don't think most New Yorkers are happy, but are we really like deep in mourning for the dude who allegedly like stabbed and killed a nice guy at a laundromat? Like, you're going to hear the details of this, and it's really dark stuff. And as long as there's no evidence of wrongdoing, I don't see what there is to even be making a public statement about at all. Really, I don't get it. Anyway, more details from the New York Post story here. The inmate was identified as 41-year-old Clarence Woodward, an ex-con with nearly 30 arrests on his rap sheet, who was found unresponsive in his cell shortly after 5 a.m. Tuesday while awaiting trial for murder in the gruesome 2024 attack at a Bronx laundromat. And then here's they have an image of Marisol and Angel Miranda, the mother and brother of Jose Miranda, in their West Haverstraw, New York home in August. So, I mean, this is the family of the dude that he allegedly killed. And yeah, they're not too happy about the mayor's statement. And I understand why. If somebody had killed one of my family members in an unprovoked, horrific crime, or allegedly, but he's like a career criminal with a rap sheet, the length of a CVS receipt. So innocent till proven guilty, sure, but it's not looking good. And somebody had killed one of my family members in such horrific fashion, and then they pass away on not in suspicious circumstances or anything. And the mayor offers his deepest sympathies to his family and goes and waxes poetic about it. I'm like, I don't know. I would not be happy with that, and neither are Jose Miranda's family members. So here they say to the Post, to the family of victim Jose Miranda, the mayor's statement was a, quote, slap in the face. It's terrible, his grieving mother, Marisol Miranda, told the Post on Thursday, adding, that's not fair. That's not fair at all. The Rockland country resident said the mayor's sorrow was misplaced and he should have instead been aimed at her beloved son, a 45-year-old dad of two who worked as a barber when he was stabbed to death. Quote, I'm not happy with what Mamdani did, and I am talking about my son. He was killed, she said. Angel Miranda, the victim's younger brother, agreed, saying, quote, that's not right. Quote, he could have paid his regards but acknowledged us too, Miranda, 41, noted. He should have mentioned us first and then, quote, sorry, the person that did it also passed away too. At least give us a little heads up and a little gratuity towards us. We lost a family member. You can never replace that. I'm still going through it, he said. It was a slap in the face. His mom said she had been dreading Woodward's murder trial and having to hear what he did to me, what he did to my son in open court, but she said that as a Christian woman, she did not want to speak badly about the accused killer. Quote, I leave everything in God's hands. He's the one who can judge, Marisol Miranda said. Woodward faced life in prison if he'd been convicted of murder, manslaughter, attempted murder, assault, and weapons charges in the August 8th, 2024 attack at 303 Laundromat in the Claremont section of the Bronx. So there's more here because the details of his crime are incredibly disturbing, but my heart does go out to the family. And there's just something, I can hold two truths at the same time. One, that prisoners in government custody do still have rights and should not be mistreated. And so when they die, there should be investigation to make sure nothing was gone wrong and there's no cause for concern. But it is going to happen when you have people detained. They will have health issues, or sometimes they will hurt each other, and that's a real problem. But do we have to go out of our way to like sympathize with these folks and to pretend that they're just a horrific loss to society if they're really not? I feel like there's probably a middle ground there that doesn't exude such sympathy for the hardened criminals. And that's the problem, is I can't separate this weird friendliness towards Rikers inmates that Zohran keeps displaying from his ideology. And guys, this guilt wasn't super in question. Like, this was not a great mystery of our time. More details from the Post here. He'd been out after a stint in state prison for only about a month when police said Woodward randomly attacked Miranda and another man at around 2:40 a.m. inside the business, which was open 24/7. The homeless parolee first stabbed Jose Miranda, who was sitting in a chair, multiple times in the legs, torso, and back, leaving him mortally wounded, police said. He then attacked the second victim, a 47-year-old homeless man who had been sleeping inside the laundromat, stabbing him in the legs and torso, according to cops. Shocking surveillance images showed the blood-splattered scene with one man laying in a pool of blood on the floor and the second victim slumped over on a box while the suspect stood over them both. Another image showed the killer moments before he plunged the knife into Miranda's back. Cops later found 2 meat cleavers on the stoop outside the business. Oh, so I don't know. Back to Mayor Mamdani's original statement. Are we really deeply sad and like deeply upset by this dude's death. Remember, he said, quote, "I am deeply saddened by the death of a New Yorker in city custody." I mean, again, I don't want people to die. I don't take joy or celebrate people's death, but I'm not deeply saddened by it, especially when there's no indication that there was any wrongdoing. And like, why are you exactly deeply saddened by it? And why are you making this big public statement about this horrific, horrific criminal who seems to have murdered an innocent person and brutally attacked a homeless person who was like a career criminal who probably shouldn't have been out on the streets anyway, but like, welcome to New York these days. Anyway, though, I find it bizarre. It's the kind of thing that you have to know how that looks and comes off, no? As a political figure who knows that there's like a conservative media opposition trained on you 24/7, you're going to go and do this stuff that with your track record actually just furthers the narrative that you're very soft on crime and prioritize criminals over safety and law and order. Yeah, at some point, I mean, I'm not going to feel bad for him about that. It's an own goal. He really set himself up for failure here, and it just looks absolutely terrible, especially when viewed in context of everything else he's said and done over the years that does illustrate this underlying sympathy for criminals, really. And there's no way of getting around that. Sorry, not sorry, it's the truth. That's my take on this story and this wild cover from the New York Post. You guys will have to let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you aren't yet. Do hit that like button while you're at it, and we'll be back with more real soon.